What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Omen by HP, a powerful yet affordable gaming laptop featuring the NVIDIA GTX 965M graphics card. As gamers, we simply cannot accept the integrated graphics chip that comes standard with most laptops. We definitely need a dedicated graphics chip, and with the GTX 965M, you can take your gaming to the next level. The HP Omen starts at around $900 and you can customize the specs to your liking. But the laptop I'm reviewing has an Intel i7-6700HQ 2.6 GHz processor, 12 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and 1 TB of hard drive space. Before we get into the performance of this beast, let's take a look around the laptop, starting with the build. So the top surface has a soft touch rubber coating. The build quality overall isn't that bad. I mean, it's made out of plastic, so you will get some flex here and there, but nothing really negative. On the back, you will find 3 rubber feet and some ventilation, and near the top is where you can find the detachable battery. Popping open the lid, we are greeted by a massive 17.3-inch 1080p IPS display with anti-glare coating. This means that you get vibrant colors and really great viewing angles, so if you're constantly sitting outside under the sun or sit next to a window with lots of sunlight, then this laptop would be a great choice since there won't be as much glare on the screen. Now there is a 4K option which I highly recommend getting instead of the 1080p because you do get a brighter screen and the image looks a lot better. It only costs around $100 more, but you will be getting more value out of the purchase. Moving on down, we have the keyboard, and I gotta say it's one of the best keyboards I've ever used on any laptop. The keys are nice and large, they have very short travel distance and provide great feedback while typing. I also love the addition of the numpad. I'm someone who just can't use a laptop that doesn't have one included. I just wish there was some sort of an LED indicator for when the num lock is pressed. I mean, there is one for the caps lock, but I would have loved to see one for the num lock as well because oftentimes I just can't tell whether the num lock is on or off. The trackpad, on the other hand, is very responsive and extremely accurate. I haven't noticed any lag or skipping, just overall a very solid experience with the keyboard and trackpad. The entire keyboard is also backlit, which is great for anyone that uses laptops in low light situations. On one side we have a Kingston lock, both a USB 2 and 3.0 and a headphone jack, and then further down the same side we have a DVD drive. I haven't seen one of these in ages. On the other side we have the charging port, Ethernet, HDMI, another USB 3, and an SD card slot. Needless to say, this laptop has you covered in terms of ports. There's also a front-facing camera. Now, it's only at 720p, so pretty standard across most laptops. It's definitely not on my priority list when it comes to gaming laptops though. The speakers, however, don't sound terrible. I mean, it's lacking a little bit on the bass end, but overall sound much better than other laptops I've used in the past. And that's thanks to the Bang & Olufsen audio integration. Here's a quick sample.
Possible. At least I won't die alone. Well, that's just typical. Let's hope this doesn't get messy.
Alright, now let's talk performance. In short, the HP Omen is a beast when it comes to games. On Doom, I was able to get an average FPS of 44 in medium settings. Now, although I could have gotten more in lower settings, the frames I was getting didn't really interfere with my gameplay. GTA 5 on high settings got me around 76 FPS, and not once did the game stutter or lag. Black Ops 3 on high settings also got some really nice frame rates, hovering around 56 FPS. And as bad as I am in CSGO, I managed to push out an average of 204 FPS on max settings. I did wreck these two guys pretty good though. And finally, I ran the benchmark for Metro Last Light on high settings, which gave me an average FPS of 61 on the dot. So needless to say, you can pretty much play any AAA title out there, given that you adjust the settings accordingly. The only negative I found while gaming was the fan noise. I mean, it does get pretty loud, so I would strongly suggest playing with some headphones on. I also looked at the productivity side. I mean, just because it's a gaming laptop doesn't mean you can't get work done either. So I tried editing a 4K video using Sony Vegas Pro 13 and it didn't even stutter or lag once, despite it being maxed out in quality. I was able to scrub through the timeline without any problems, pretty impressive. I also managed to render out a 30-second 4K RAW video file in just over 7 minutes, which is actually faster than most of the desktop PCs that I've built on the channel. Let me remind you that this is a laptop. And finally, the battery life. It lasted a good 4 hours and 28 minutes from the start to finish on 80% brightness. All I did was watch YouTube videos non-stop from the beginning to the end. So if you spend an hour or two on gaming, it would have drained the battery a lot faster. And if you only use a laptop for light browsing and typing, then you would get more juice out of it, somewhere near the 6-hour mark. In conclusion, if you're looking for an affordable and solid gaming laptop that can also handle editing very well, then the HP Omen has your name written all over it. Definitely check out the HP Omen if you guys are in the market for a gaming or productivity laptop. I'll drop a link to it down below. I'm going to give a huge thanks to HP for sending this in and sponsoring this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.